All right. Ryan, do I have your permission to record this interaction to share with your professor?
Yes.
Great, thank you. Now, let's go over some of the logistics of this session. You will have around 15 minutes in the simulator to run the scenario. Time permitting, we may be able to run through portions of this simulation again. At the end of the simulation, I will then return to guide you in a reflection of your experience. If at any point during your lesson, if you feel overwhelmed or stuck, please feel free to say pause simulation and I will return and I'll be happy to address any questions or concerns that you may have. I also want to let you know that these students can all write and raise their hands. They can even participate in a pair and share where they pair off and talk to each other. However, if you were to ask the avatars to do something outside the limitations of the program, for example, give a choral response or a thumbs up, one of the students will say, the principal says we can't do that. So that would just be your cue to move on. But other than that, please feel free to treat them like you would treat any live student. And if any technical problems arise, just ask for me, Michael, and I'll help you address it, okay?
Okay. Quick question. In terms of like a video or something, would that be okay if I show it on like my phone and put it to the camera?
Sure, you are welcome to do
Okay.
so. And if something is unclear or if maybe too far away or too close, the students will let you know.
Great.
All right. Now, did your professor specify a level of intensity for today? We have two options, which would be low or medium.
Low intensity, please.
All right, no problem. We will go ahead and do a low intensity. And are you choosing subject matter from the table today, or are you bringing your own prepared content?
I'm bringing my own. I'm introducing fractions.
All right, great. And a reminder, the goal for this scenario is simply to successfully engage all students in an on-topic group discussion while eliciting student thinking in your selected content area. Do you have any final questions?
No, I think I'm ready. Thank you. I appreciate all your help.
Of course. All right. Well, Ryan, in a moment, you'll see the students appear on your screen and your simulation will have begun. Good luck, and remember that this is a training simulation, so it's just a great opportunity to take risks and stretch yourself.
Good morning, everyone. My name is Mr. Marin. I'm so excited to work with all you guys. How are you guys doing?
Hey, Mr. Marin. Whoa, is that a
Hi.
fan behind you? It looks like huge.
It is a fan. It's a very big fan. It blows pretty hard. It's actually keeping me cool right now. So as I'm saying, I'm so excited to see all you guys. So I want to set some classroom rules before we get started. So before we do that, actually, can someone tell me why rules are important? Does anyone want to raise their hand? Mina, yes, please. Tell me why rules are important in the classroom.
So, rules are important because they help us stay safe and they help us do everything that we need to do.
Great answer. Thank you. So exactly what Mina said, rules are important. They keep us safe, they keep us on track, and they keep us going exactly where we want to go and doing exactly what we want to do. So I want to set one rule with all you guys, and I want, because it's a classroom, we're a classroom community and environment, I want to make sure we can all agree on this rule. So I would like to say our one rule is raise hand to share verbally. So if you're going to answer a question, I want you to please raise your hand. Can we all agree on that?
You got it.
Great. Great, perfect. So introducing today, we're going to be talking about fractions. So what are fractions? So fractions tell us how many parts of an equal whole we have. Has anyone heard of the word fractions before? No, perfect. Okay. So I want to introduce it by asking, how many equal part, when we're talking about fractions, we're going to be discussing how many equal parts of a whole are we looking at. So I want to show you guys this picture real quick. So if we're looking at the top left screen, at the top left side of the screen, we all see a circle, right? Now I want us to all imagine a pizza. And does everyone see how the circle is shaded in completely? We're looking at one whole. But now we're cutting the pizza into half. So I want someone to raise their hand and answer. If we're cutting a pizza into 2 equal parts, how many, and one of the parts is shaded as you see on the left side of your screen. What would the fraction be? Can anyone give me a guess as to what the fraction would be? Carlos.
Would that just mean that the pizza was cut in half?
Yes, so the pizza would be cut into half, perfect. So when we're looking at this pizza, as we're looking at this pizza right here on my screen, we're seeing it's cut into 2 equal pieces, correct? And one is shaded and one is not. So when we're looking at a fraction is actually below this pizza. Now, if you see, it says 1/2. So when we're looking at the pizza, the bottom number here is called the denominator. Now, the denominator is the bottom number, and it's how many equal pieces an object has been divided into. So as we see, the pizza has been split into 2 equal pieces. And we're looking at the numerator, which is the top number. It's how many parts of the denominator you are looking at. So there are 1 out of the 2. So when we're looking at how many parts we're looking at that have been shaded, out of the 2 here, 1 of them is shaded. So that would be equivalent to 1/2. So now let's move to this pizza to the right. So can someone tell me the bottom number, the denominator, how many equal pieces there are on this pizza? Right here? Mina, yes.
So the denominator would be 4.
Right, exactly, Mina. Thank you, because there are 4 equal parts. Now, I want to ask Will. Will, how many parts of this pizza? I want to look at the numerator. How many parts of the pizza are shaded in?
Sorry, I was just resting my eyes. What was the question?
No worries. So we're looking at this pizza right here. As we see, as Mina told us, there are 4 equal parts to this pizza. Now the 4 equal parts would be the denominator, the bottom number. So now we're looking for the numerator. So how many parts of the denominator are shaded in?
1.
1, perfect, exactly. So when we're looking at this pizza, as you see, the fraction below would be 1/4. Now let's move on one more time to the piece of pizza on the right. So as we see, can you tell me, Emily, how many pieces are shaded in out of the 4?
Which one are we looking at?
So we're looking at the 4th pizza.
Oh.
And as we see, there are 4 equal parts, as Mina told us earlier. So how many of the pieces are shaded in?
4.
Good try. Does anyone want to help Emily out? Anyone want to raise their hand and help Emily out?
Oh yeah, I can help.
Jayla, perfect. Thank you.
Okay, so Emily, there's 4 pieces in total, like 4 slices, but we're only looking at like the yellow ones. So if you count it, there's only 3.
Perfect. Thank you so much, Jayla, for helping Emily out. So as Jayla mentions, there are 4 equal pieces, right? So as we're looking, the bottom is the denominator. So there are 4 equal pieces. And 3 of the 4 are shaded in. So 3 would be the numerator because 3 of the 4 are shaded in, and we're looking at how many parts of the whole is that's the point of a fraction. We're looking at how many parts of a whole. So now I want to show a quick video to move on and to give you guys a little more examples. So let's watch this quick video on fractions. Pulling it up real quick, guys. I apologize.
Fractions. Understanding fractions can be easy as 1, 2, 3. Just watch this video and you'll be
Oh, I'm sorry, guys. I apologize.
using fractions with ease. It's easy to count whole things, like a pizza pizza, a pie, or a donut?
Yum.
Carnivore. How would we count it then? We'd use fractions. Like this. The denominator. It shows how many equal pieces an object has been divided into. The top number is called the numerator. It shows how many parts of the denominator you are looking at. For example, a pizza is usually divided into 8 slices. That means that in a fraction, the denominator would be 8.
Carlos, were you texting?
You normally eat 1 slice of pizza, then 1 would
Real quick, guys, before Emily, is it possible you could not speak to Carlos right now while we're watching the video so that way everyone can stay on task?
I was just asking who he was texting.
Oh, Carlos, I'm sorry. I see you're on your phone right now. Is there anything important? I'd like you to focus on this video, and whoever you're texting, you can do that after class. So I'd like you to focus on this video real quick. No, it's no worries, Carlos. No worries.
Yeah,
No big deal.
I thought my phone was on silent. My mom knows I'm in class, so I was just telling her I can't talk right now, but I put it away.
Great, thank you, Carlos. Thank you for telling your mom that you're focusing in class. I appreciate it. All right, let's get back to the video.
the numerator. That means that you eat 1/8 of a pizza. If you normally eat 2 slices of pizza, then 2 would be the numerator. The denominator would still be 8 since there are always 8 slices of pizza. That would mean that you eat 2/8 of a pizza. Let's try another example. This pie is divided into 6 pieces, and you eat 4 pieces of it. If there were 6 pieces of pie and you eat 4, what is the denominator of your fraction?
So I want to pause the video right there real quick and ask a quick question. Can someone tell us the answer to the question? So as the person in the video asked, can someone tell me the denominator of this piece of pie? Can someone please raise their hand and tell me how many? Carlos, yes.
Would the denominator be 4?
So the denominator would not be 4. So the denominator, what we're looking for in the denominator is how many equal pieces an object has been divided into. So as we're looking at this piece of pie, as we see, there are 6 equal pieces that this object has been divided into. So the denominator, the bottom number, would be 6. But Carlos, you are correct, as in the numerator is 4, because 4 of these 6 pieces have been eaten. So
right. I
exactly.
got confused which one was which.
No worries, Carlos. So remember, numerator is how many parts of the denominator you are looking at, how many pieces of the equal pieces of the whole. So let's get back to the video.
That's right, 6. What is the numerator? Yep, it's 4. That means that you ate 4/6 of the pie. Let's try one more example.
Perfect. So I want to relate this to real life with you guys, because you're just seeing a bunch of numbers and pizza and you're really thinking, how does this relate to real life? So can someone, I want to do think, pair, share real quick. I want to give 1 minute. I want you guys to discuss how many, or where would you use fractions in real life? So I want Emily and Carlos, and then Jayla, Will, and Mina to quickly discuss where you would use that in real life. And then when you're ready, raise your hand. All right, everyone, let's come back. All right, perfect. Now, can one person from each group raise their hand? So out of Mina, Will, and Jayla, can one of you raise your hand and tell me where you would use this in real life? Mina, yes, please.
So, We talked about birthdays and how every time you're at a birthday party, you often have cake, and it can be kind of tough to know if everyone's getting an equal slice, but you can look at it as a fraction and count how many people there are to help you cut the cake.
Exactly, Mina. Thank you. So as Mina says, if we're looking at a fraction as a cake, you would cut it into equal pieces so everybody gets an equal piece, right? Because at a birthday, you want to make sure everyone gets an equal piece of your cake. Perfect. Thank you, guys. Emily, yes, please.
Um, well, Carlos and I were talking about when you are little and you play with certain toys like um, blocks or Legos, they have different pieces and you can count, um, well, how many pieces build like one thing, like a house or car.
Exactly. So if you were to build a Lego house, you would have a number of pieces, right? And you would need an equal, let's say, for example, window. You would need an equal amount of pieces to build a window. Exactly, Emily. Perfect example. So as we have a little bit of time left, I want to say thank you guys. I really appreciate the opportunity to teach you guys about fractions. And I want to know if you guys took anything from this or how much you enjoyed it. If anyone can tell me, thank you, Jayla. Yes.
Okay. I really like the video, and I'm really hungry now because we were talking about pizza and cake and stuff.
I'm hungry too, Jayla. That pizza and that cake that Mina mentioned, it got me excited for my birthday and got me really hungry. Mina, yes, please.
So I guess I just never realized that fractions were all around me every day, and it, I feel like in my household, mostly my mom is the one in charge of dividing up our food or snacks. So I'm excited to tell her that she's using fractions.
Exactly. She is using fractions. We're using fractions every day in our lives. As Mina mentioned, your parents are using fractions all the time, right? Like if you're cooking dinner, you want to give equal amounts of dinner to everybody. Or if you're cutting a birthday cake, as Mina mentioned, you want to give equal parts to everybody. Or if you're looking at a pizza and you want to make sure that you get everyone an equal slice, everyone has to be fed, right? So you're using fractions all the time, whether it's you use it in food, in everyday life, in class. Like if you're dividing pencils, you want to make sure everyone gets one pencil, right? An equal amount of pencils. So you're, as Mina mentioned, you're using fractions everywhere, all throughout your life. And that's why it's so important to learn about fractions, right? So hopefully, perfect.
Hi, Ryan. Sorry for interrupting. I just want to make
No,
sure
you're
we're
perfect.
good
You're
on
perfect.
time, but thank you for practicing that lesson and welcome back. How are you feeling after spending some time with these students?
It was fun, but it was nerve wracking. I'll be honest. At the beginning, I was a little, that was scary. But as I felt like I got more comfortable as I got into it, and I really enjoyed learning about, you know, the importance of explaining things and working with students. It was really fun.
Great, great to hear. Now, what were some strategies or best practices that you utilized that felt s- led to successful moments in this lesson?
So I feel like I used visual objects pretty well, like the pictures. I feel like they had a decent understanding of uh, the pizza as I gave them sort of a real world example. I kind of showed them the number below the fraction, so they had the visual as well as the actual picture of as well as the actual numbers in a fraction. Um, and I felt the video was pretty helpful for including technology. And then at the end, I thought incorporating it into real world examples is important because oftentimes students don't really understand how you use this in real life. So having students give me examples of where they would use this in real life or where they've seen it used in real life is actually pretty helpful and may help students better remember it. Because as Mina said, she's going to go to her mom and talk about fractions.
Right, absolutely. It looked like some of the students were really excited to be able to identify these fractions uh, at home that they see every day. Now, Ryan, I wonder if you had the opportunity to practice this same lesson again, is there anything that you might approach differently next time, or maybe something that you'd like to improve upon?
So my first thing was I wish I would have noticed Carlos using the phone earlier, because I feel like I accidentally called out Emily instead of Carlos, when she was just kind of informing Carlos that he was playing on his phone and that he should focus on the lesson. So improving my classroom management and sort of focusing more on the students would have been better. Um, and then I would say maybe being a little bit more clear in my explanations, because at first I was a bit nervous. So I was kind of over explaining and skipping over certain parts that I needed to focus on. So if I were to redo it, I would probably, I would be more calm, because I have a better understanding of what the experience is like. And feel like I would better explain things initially.
Great, well said. I can definitely um, recognize that it could be a challenge to, be holding up your phone with the video while also, monitoring the classroom. So I think highlighting classroom management, I think is a great thing to think about. And I encourage you to go back and watch the video once it's ready to be viewed and see what moments stick out to you as well.
Definitely.
All right. Well, what is one thing that you're going to take away from this experience that you can use the next time you face a similar situation in real life?
Wait, so what was the question again? I'm sorry, I apologize.
No problem. I was asking, what is one thing, a lesson, or a skill that you are going to take away from this experience that you can use the next time you face a similar situation in a real classroom?
So I'll say I really enjoyed I discussing in class. They would often discuss the importance of relating it to in real life, and I think that's really like beneficial to the students because as I saw, Mina kind of showed and related it to her mom, and she's gonna go to her mom and talk about fractions, and it kind of gets incorporates school and home life, and it makes it to where Mina's now more excited about school. So I think incorporating what you're teaching the students and showing them how they use it in real life is actually really beneficial to them.
Absolutely. Well, thank you so much, Ryan, for your participation and thoughtful reflection. That is going to conclude your simulation experience for today. I hope you have a great rest of your day, Ryan.
Thank you. You too. I really appreciate all the help.
Of course. Thanks. Bye, Ryan.